50th next year too.
Yeah.
I grew up in the Coney Island projects and then moved to Brightwater. So when I went to Lincoln, I was in Brightwater.
I see Susan Looper. You look great, Susan.
She does.
She's on vacation. Thank you. It's a little windy.
Susan, you
Susan and I
muted.
lived in the same building.
I'm having so much trouble hearing you guys.
Building
Oh,
one.
it's so windy here. I'm trying to find a quiet spot.
It was Susan's in Mexico.
Bernie, how are you, Bernie?
Which Bernie?
Which Bernie are you talking to?
I'm talking to Bernie Mantel.
I'm doing great, thanks. Who's asking? I can't see. Elliot?
Elliot.
Yeah, it's me.
Elliot, yeah. I'm not singing and performing lately. I was, but no longer in the last 10 years. But I'm at the end of my career children's book writing, which has been doing for 35 years.
Wow.
Really?
Fabulous.
What kind of books, Bernie?
Well, my wife and I used to do it together. We started on Nancy Drew and Hardy Boys and things like that. And
Oh, love that.
I went over to action and adventure and sports books, and I did X-Men and a lot of mass market writing. And now I'm writing Derek Jeter's books, his line of children's books. It's a 10-book series, which I just finished book 9. So I'm looking to retire, and whatever Susan's doing, that's what I want to be doing.
So Bernie, you were like a ghostwriter for children's writers?
Yeah, my name is on them, a lot of them, but it's written with or whatever. But I started out as a ghostwriter. That's exactly right. Franklin W. Dixon, Carolyn Keene, all of those. And Gary, I have a great prostate story for you, but I'll deliver it on email, not to bother everyone. I love it.
Who doesn't love a good prostate story?
It made me think of you.
Me.
It's an interesting one. I promise you'll be entertained.
Yeah, well, I've got my own great prostate story, actually.
I
Oh,
know.
yes, we know
Familiar
all
with
about
yours.
it.
It's kind of famous. Yep.
Infamous
Yeah.
is more like it.
What was that?
I said infamous is more like it.
Infamous. Right. Well, with some people, right.
Yeah, no, I was.
No, Gary, I knew you quite well back then, and I didn't know you that well.
Uh-oh. Who didn't,
Okay, everybody heard Gary that well.
Gary, do you remember me?
I don't, who's talking?
Arlene Lackow?
Of course.
Okay, just putting it out there.
Oh,
'cause
yeah,
we
no,
all,
of course. Oh,
we
yeah.
all look different. Okay.
Yeah, but nobody can forget you, Arlene. Come on.
Thank you, Karen.
Oh, really?
You wouldn't remember to be here anyway. So you can pretty much.
I wouldn't have noticed. Shelley all looked different.
Thanks, Gary.
I wouldn't have known.
Exactly the same. I can picture your graduation picture, Jill, in the yearbook.
Oh, boy.
I meant
Terrible
to bring
stuff.
mine today so I can, look up everybody and put a young face to the whole thing like we did at the reunion. But I think we all look pretty good if I ran into
Right.
us.
I
wouldn't
think we've
say-
survived well.
Close to
we look
70.
Does anybody
That's right.
know any people who we knew that have passed on?
Yes. Gary Terzilli,
Oh, yeah.
No.
Oh, he died a long time ago.
a while
Yeah.
ago.
With a beautiful voice.
If you knew Mark
Oh my God, did I have a crush on him?
died.
Mark Rosak
Massive.
died.
We all have
Yeah.
crushes on him.
I did.
We all loved Gary.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry to hear about Gary.
he was a good friend.
That one stands out.
Yeah.
Other than that, let's see. I'll think.
Mindy
about
Berkowitz, I don't know if you remember her.
Yeah, she passed away.
I know Mindy.
Oh, I also. Ay,
A
ay, ay,
while
ay, ay.
ago. A while
Yeah.
ago.
Oh, I knew Mindy.
it. On the other hand, I know that
Same.
Jeff
Peter.
Schechter is still with us and doing okay. And
Yep.
Elliot Rains, while he's not in good health, is still with us.
He's,
Down in Florida.
where is he? Down in Florida now?
He's in Sarasota area.
Uh-huh.
His wife.
Barbara Lerner is still okay. Barbara and Mike got married as planned, and they're still fine.
Yeah.
But that's 69.
Right.
All
We
right,
all know
close
those.
enough.
Did any
I
of you
know
guys
you got
know Miles
stories.
Pensack?
Yes,
Yes.
I did. He emailed me a few years
He's
ago.
doing very well.
after,
I know.
after we
One of
had
my
that
kids
reunion
One time.
about 35 years, I guess, 15 years ago already. He emailed me
The
Yeah,
one,
Miles-
Yeah.
Miles
is that the
Turner-
one in
He's
the,
living
In Fort
um,
Hamilton? In Fort Hamilton?
yeah,
in
that's the one I
Midwest.
remember.
He's a neurosurgeon.
He's an
and head of a-
ENT. He's an ENT.
Yeah, he's a neuro-otologist, but he ended up being one of the world's experts in removing tumors of the brain stem.
Mhm.
And, I mean,
Wow.
really, one of the, top guys in the whole world doing that.
Yes.
Oh my
that was
God,
my
don't tell me that. I knew
understanding.
somebody who could do that because my cousin lost a
Very
grandson to
prestigious.
that.
Really? Well,
Yeah, I mean, this was about, I want to say 6 years ago. And literally, I got phone calls from Israel saying, do we know anybody who might know anything like this? Don't tell me I actually knew somebody who could have
no,
possibly helped him.
he probably, the tumor you're probably talking about is, if it was a kid, it was
Yeah.
probably something called a pontine glioma. And nobody has anything for that at this point. We
Okay.
might have something for it, but it's, hard to.
It's not there yet, and he's already gone, so
Yeah.
it doesn't,
um,
can't cry over spilt milk at this point.
Oh, it's.
What are you still up to, Gary?
Are you practicing?
Yeah, I'm at some point I'm going to get it right, so I keep practicing.
Ha ha ha.
Yeah,
I see it.
yeah. No, I am involved in a project, and what we have is a way to make a cancer vaccine out of your own tumor. So, and we can do it in an hour
Wow.
while you're still on the table. So, and that's part of my story. I'll send everybody a link to
Yeah.
a video and a podcast that goes through it. But the basically what happened was that I had developed this, and we were getting really some spectacular results. And then I myself got metastatic prostate cancer that was incurable, and
That you bothered to cure.
that I was able to get a guy to do the procedure on me. I did it while I was we did it while I was awake, and I directed him how to do it.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I
And,
saw that video.
we made a video of it, and 2 months, 2.5 years now later, I just got my latest PSA back, and it's 1.4. So I'm still free disease, and
Wonderful.
so I've been really blessed with an amazing result, but also I've got a spiritual bent to me now, and I really think that part of the reason that all that happened was that I could continue to do this and get it out there. And so we're involved in trying to make this a widespread available procedure for people, and hopefully but it's not easy whenever you're doing something different and potentially important. You are going to meet some major resistance, to say the least.
Gary,
And,
it's for other
I just got my concealed carry license down here.
Good God.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
wow.
Watch out.
Oh well, shoot, you just never know anymore. So anyway, so that's what we're doing, and it's a full-time job. I'm treating patients all the time, and we've gotten some good results in pancreatic cancer, and so it's an exciting time. It's literally 24/7.
You're the
Marvelous,
rest of your
marvelous.
family, honey.
Still.
Incredible.
So we're very
Gary,
very,
how's the rest of your family?
everybody is doing great. My brother lives on Cape Cod, and he's doing terrific. The thing that I was most proud of in my years was getting on that athletic honor roll and having him, like 3 years before me being on the athletic honor roll as well.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Getting the brother teams over there, but
And what about your kids?
everybody's doing well. I'm sure that you guys, everyone who has kids, understands that you're only as happy as your most miserable child. And
So true.
And we have we all have challenges. Anybody spend any time listening or watching Jordan Peterson?
Heard
Well,
him.
Yeah, this is can you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's rule number 7.
You got it.
And basically, good thing to see some of his videos on the ideas in terms of his rules for life. But it basically what he says is, life's malevolent. Things are going to happen, and they will. Bad things are going to happen. You just have to be prepared. And the best way for being prepared is to basically having meaning in your life. So that's why I wear this t-shirt, to continually remind me that there's just there's malevolence and potential disaster right around the corner, and
Especially in Florida.
especially in Florida.
Yes, you're on the frontiers of climate change down there.
Oh,
Uh,
God.
And everything else.
New Jersey?
I've got a boat, so as the water level rises, I just
You'll be
rise
good.
with it. So I'm not worried.
Your mom would be so proud. She was the nicest lady. She was just a special
Absolutely.
lady, Gary.
Yes, she was.
She I never heard her say a nasty thing about anybody. And as you guys probably had, she'd say, if you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all.
Don't say anything at all. Yep.
Don't say anything at all. And there I would be, mute for days. But she, I was talking with her. We did a podcast that I'll also send you a link to if you're interested.
Please,
And
please do.
the interviewer, got me talking about my mom, and so it was. I don't know if you guys have ever felt this. I just never felt like she was gone. I feel like she's hanging over my shoulder.
Always.
Yeah, just
That I get.
That's how it feels.
She's like always with me, and I now believe that there is something after this. I'm like
After Zoom?
what's that?
After Zoom.
Yeah, it's you go to a place and you can pee normally. Everything that you want to have happens. You can
Sleep through the night.
yeah, you sleep through the night, you pee normally. That's heaven. It's heaven. That's what happens when you get to heaven. So
Yeah, my mother's got, I figure my mother's meeting up with all of her old friends, playing canasta and mahjong. And I can just
Wait,
sit
my
there at
mother,
the table. Yep. And when my daughter surprisingly got pregnant with her 3rd son, I could just see my mother going, "Oi, it should only be a little girl," because my daughter has boys. "Oi, it should only be a little girl." And my daughter even said, Ma, I heard grandma saying the same thing.
Oh. Well, you know what, Barbara? I have 3 daughters and 4 granddaughters, and now I'm going to have a little boy in September.
Oh yeah, you in trouble now.
I don't know what I'm going to do.
Oh, it's
You're gonna
the
have a
best.
prince. You're gonna
It's
have
the
a Jewish prince.
Oh, God.
My older grandsons are 10 and 12. And then 6 years after my son-in-law had a vasectomy, my daughter suddenly found herself pregnant.
Whoops.
yeah, well,
So much for a vasectomy. Anyway, So now she's got this 9-month-old little gorgeous thing, and her older boys have a new toy. And oh God.
And it's gonna go
I mean-
like that.
Don't
So,
throw it.
Enjoy
I
it.
was like, oh my God. You know, we put up with having children in order to enjoy our grandkids.
That's right.
Well, I
Because,
have
you
a
know,
I have a great grandson now, and let me tell you, you think grandchildren are loving? Wait till you get a great grandchild. Oh my
God.
God, it's the best, the
Aw.
best. He's
Karen Schneider, how are
love
you?
your grandchild, yes.
I'm hanging in there. I'm long hauling COVID, so that's not too much fun.
Oh no.
But
Why?
otherwise,
What happened?
otherwise it's been okay. Spent the last, well, I was a teacher for a while, and then I spent the last 33 years in public health administration, running a healthcare program for pregnant women, infants, and children. And then when I retired, the grandkids moved in their teen years, so we put up with them thinking we were going to be empty nesters, but we had them for a while. And now I have a great grandchild, so it's crazy. It's just wonderful. I'm enjoying
We're not old
retirement.
enough to have great grandchildren.
Well, when I
Really?
got married, my husband had 2 children. He had twin boys. So I started out with, 2 kids.
Oh, you started out ahead of us.
Yeah, I did. So yeah, one of them is up to be a general in the Air Force. He made a life career of that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and the other son lives with us, and he does financial things, and it's been interesting.
Where do you live, Karen? Where
I
do you
live in Rehoboth, Massachusetts. We're right on the border of Providence, Rhode Island. I'm between Providence and Boston.
Love New England. That's
Yeah, I
awesome.
went to school in
Oh.
Boston and fell in love with the area and just
Mhm.
kind of stayed here,
Beautiful.
Oh,
Life-
too bad Jan couldn't be here. Have you guys been looking at some of her pictures? Have you, Howie, did you see some of Jan's
Oh yeah,
pictures?
beautiful, especially the trees lately
Oh
that
my
she's been
God.
posting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she just had
Jan.
snow again.
Yes, and that cherry tree of hers.
Oh
Yeah.
my God, yes.
Where's she?
Well,
I was impressed with her new little dog.
Oh, yes.
But,
Oh my
yeah.
God.
No, I'm busy waiting for my mangoes to get ready to harvest. I'm like in heaven waiting for those bad boys.
Mm.
Because there is nothing like, you can buy all the mangoes you want from even from a fresh market, but when they come off the tree and you bite into them, holy smokes, there is nothing like a fresh mango.
Nice.
They're also great for salsa.
Mm.
Yeah.
Making
Oh, I make
salsa.
fabulous salsa with
And
them.
daiquiri.
Yeah.
I make a mango daiquiri to die for. So, hey, wait a minute. I mean, my house, it's very funny. We moved down here with my 2 girls, and now everybody's married, everybody's out of the house. And I'm like, I've got 3 bedrooms and 2 baths and a sitting room upstairs. And I'm like, holy smokes, I could have half the neighborhood. I could have half the class here on vacation, and we could have a party. Forget about a place for a reunion. Let's all hang out at my house.
Aw, so cute.
Is anyone in New Jersey?
I am.
I am.
I am.
That's right.
Wow.
I'm in East Brunswick.
I just
Where?
moved to
Where in
Monroe.
East Brunswick?
Monroe, you're right near me.
Yeah.
So, it was one of my favorite experiences at Lincoln High School.
Uh-oh.
No, it directly goes to Leonard Klein.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
And everybody has to remember Senior Sing.
Oh, absolutely.
Choosing?
very
Yeah.
sensitive issue. Very
and,
sensitive
and
issue.
Leonard was you were the writer, director, and
And the devil.
I
No,
was the
Rourke was.
director, but I didn't.
Resident Devil.
I was in
It
on
was
the
the
writing.
devil.
There was a bunch of
Junior Sing, Junior.
Junior Sing was the devil. Senior Sing, I came out of the audience as Flo.
That's right.
And I sang. I think I was doing Louis Armstrong on stage. But yeah, I directed it, but I was in on the writing, but there was a whole bunch of people writing it.
Wait a minute, were you in blackface?
Yes, yes. I'm sorry, I'm gonna leave now. Okay.
Yvette.
Have to resign.
The,
Well, you got the whole football team to wear.
Yes.
I
where it
remember
was,
that.
Yeah, we
Belly dancers
like,
or something.
yeah, we were dressed up like harem
Arabian, wasn't it
girls.
Arabian something?
Right.
Yeah, harem girls. So
something like that.
you had tremendous
cute.
yeah, you had tremendous persuasive abilities.
Be the dance that stops the show.
And
You
yet we
knew all their
lost.
dark secrets.
But you know, the one thing that we should have insisted upon.
Whoops.
Can I have another Bloody
got
Mary,
the two
please?
best songs.
The what?
The juniors got the two best songs. They got the two songs from Hair, "Let the Sunshine In," and that other one. And that was hard to. Oh, you're kidding! That's it.
Oh my
Oh my God.
The conscience.
We're so
I want one of
cute.
you now, Karen.
I'm so- Oh,
This is
Yeah.
Gary Rookie. I'm
This-
class
this one.
69. I just want to say I came
Gosh.
to Lincoln
Jen Felder?
in 78, and the school had gone downhill so much. Bathrooms were locked because of drug problems. There's
Wow.
only one male bathroom up on the 4th floor.
Wow.
And it was my first teaching job. Within a week and a half, I wanted to quit, which I did, but they made me stay the term. And it was just horrible. I was used to our class's type of relationships with the teacher. I would ask a student a question, "Fuck you, Rothy." I mean, it's not what
Are you
we.
kidding me?
This is the fall of 78.
Wow.
So
That's crazy.
up until then, I had been working as an actuary, decided I didn't like that, quit my job, was traveling for 2 years, came back. Mr. Ellis had a vacancy. I got a math job, and I disappointed him by leaving as soon as possible and returned to the actuarial. But,
Wow. Ellis was still there in 78?
yes, Mr. Ellis.
Hey.
I don't know
How is
about
Lincoln doing now?
Pardon?
How is Lincoln doing now?
I don't know. I go back to
He's
the
not
annual
doing great now.
Sunday open house.
It's not doing.
We had our 50th reunion in 19, and then COVID set in, so we didn't have the open house
Right.
following May. But it's been something I've been doing for about 20 years. It was great. And Fred Newman was leading it for every year. Grashow had been there occasionally for the reunions. It was good.
Oh,
but
boy.
listen, it's all in the past. I don't think it'll ever come back.
I have been in touch. Do you guys remember Miss Rappaport?
Yeah.
Sure.
History.
Barbara Rappaport. She was a teacher. I think it was history, but she also
History.
lit up the
Social
GO.
studies, yeah.
And Barbara and I, over the last few years, we've become good friends again. She's like 87 years old.
What? So
God
cute.
bless her.
We went to a concert together at the City Winery, and we were backstage afterwards, and she got so drunk.
And that's scary to think about.
It was
Scary to think about.
It was great. She was just so wonderful, and we stay in touch. And she lives in Gramercy Park in the city, and she's great. And I still speak to Dan Flickstein.
Oh, I remember.
Really?
Art, right? Sculpture?
No, drama.
Oh,
Drama.
oh, okay.
Drama.
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 Flickstein is doing good. He lives in New Jersey also.
Do you know where?
Wow.
But Barbara's the best. You would never, if you looked at her now and you saw her, you would think that she's like in her 60s or something. She looks awesome.
She looks better than we do, because we're in
For
our
sure. That's not too hard to do.
There is a There is a
She-
dedication
Paul
that we
Jeffries,
carry.
rock singer. He was a singer, you know, and he went on and he became a rock star. And I see that she's friendly with him. And before I know it, we went to a concert together to see Garland. And now Garland's my friend, but she's just a pisser. She's great. My wife met her and couldn't get over her. She's great.
There is
Wait,
I
a
don't know.
dedication that we carry to Lincoln. When I said about these Sunday open houses, there were graduates from the classes of 1930s and early 40s who would still trek in to say
Oh,
hello.
boy.
I mean, there were very few. I mean, you think about their age, they're walking with their oxygen tanks, et cetera. But I was just
Gary,
so,
what time of year is that reunion?
that's generally the first, second Sunday in May. That's when it generally is. All right, but you know, the schools are closed now, so it's not going to be for this year. But it's an
Yeah.
open house for all
Could you
classes.
imagine if we all trekked in one day? Holy smokes. That would scare the bejeebas out
That
of
would
them.
be fun.
Yeah.
They gave a
And,
vaccine out at Lincoln. It was on the news that they were.
Yes, I saw that. Mass
Yeah,
vaccination.
my mom and my sister still live in Wabass, and they went to Lincoln to
wow.
get the shots. Yeah.
Wow.
Hey, Gary.
Nice.
Gary, didn't you know Dave Elkins?
Yeah,
Which area are you asking?
Yeah, you used to play football with him.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, he lives out in California now. He's the one who introduced me to my wife.
really.
Yeah, Dave's a great
I
guy.
was just thinking, for some reason, I don't know what brought it back, but I was just thinking of him yesterday. We were on a football team that was, kind of offline before the Lincoln, before Lincoln, we were in junior high, and I remember he injured his shoulder, and he was
He
great. So
hurt
he's
his
in
knee,
California
couldn't
now.
play. He had a knee problem. He couldn't play, but we became really good friends. And he just called me up one day and said, "I met this girl the other night, and I think you would like her." And I
Do you
got
still have
43 years later.
do you still have contact with him?
Yeah, Dave and I
Tell
staying.
him I said hello.
Definitely will.
You know,
Definitely will.
and I remember. Tell him remember the play Malcolm X.
Malcolm X.
Malcolm's X. That's what they
Okay.
called it. Okay.
Okay. I'll ask.
Good Lord.
Yeah, he'll remember that. He was critical to that play.
Okay. I'll
Uh,
definitely ask him. I speak to him once in a while, so definitely will.
Yeah. Please do. Does anybody remember Lenny?
Yes.
Who did the I'm blocking her name. The girl who did the choreography for Sing.
Hala Strauss.
Barbara Haffis.
Oh,
Hala.
Hala Strauss.
Sarah Strauss.
Good.
I
Not
used to
Barbara
be in
Haffis,
touch
Taylor.
with her. I haven't seen her since maybe the other reunion.
I saw her in 2002 at the 37th reunion of PS 216, class of 1964.
Wow.
Good Lord.
City, coordinated by Sal Caruana, who is some kind of hedge fund mogul. And Taylor was doing well. She was teaching dance to people actors on Broadway who didn't really know how to dance. And so she taught them just for the parts that they were playing, and she was doing very well. And when we all met in the city, she was wearing her Lincoln Twirlers jacket.
Oh
Oh,
no.
how funny.
And she forgave us for all the little, I don't know, little
Howie,
catty
take
stuff that
care.
went back to sixth grade.
Thank
What?
you. Medical conference to attend. Take care,
Oh, dear
everyone.
Lord.
Great
Okay,
to see
sweetie
you
pie, you
all.
take care.
Thank you, Howie.
Stay in touch.
You be good.
Same
You
here,
too.
all of you as well. Great to see you.
All right. So long.
Bye-bye.
How about
God.
Debbie Burrell? Does anybody remember her?
Who?
Debbie Burrell?
She was
Debbie
what,
was,
class of 69?
I think
How do
she
you
was
spell it?
69. So
Yes,
sorry, that didn't come out right, but
I
yes.
think we're friends on Facebook. I got tied in with her through Lester.
Yes.
So I
I think she's doing okay. I don't know where she is though, but if you want to find out, Lester is a great resource for that.
Oh yeah, Lester's got all sorts of crazy information.
Yeah, he does.
Is that Mark Schwartz? A Schultz, rather?
Schultz. Yes, it
Dude,
is.
what's going on?
It's the Schultz
I've been
man.
here the whole time.
It just said Mark, and then I'm saying, wait a second, the dude looks familiar.
There it is.
What have you been up to?
Good morning to you, Elliot.
Excuse me?
Good morning to you, Elliot. So glad you're just waking up.
I just got up a few minutes ago anyway. Late night.
Mark, what have you been up to?
I have been living in Pennsylvania since, well, 34 years.
Where in Pennsylvania?
Outside of Philadelphia, Fort Washington. Let's see. After Lincoln, I enlisted into the Navy. And I was in the reserve out of Floyd Bennett Field.
Oh my.
For 6 years during Vietnam. It just really got to me when every night you read the list of the number of dead on TV. And I just felt that there's got to be something I can do without having to go to Nam. So I enlisted and was in an aviation unit. So I got
How did you get out of not going to Nam?
Well, you know, back in that year, in 1970, they did away with student deferments for 2 semesters. And I just gambled that I was going to get a low number. In 1970, August 10th, my birthday, they went up to 117 and my number was 10. So I would have been drafted. I didn't know it, but didn't matter. I did that, came back, went to college, went into public accounting, decided, as Gary Rothy said, actuarial and public accounting was not for me. And I went back into, I got my MBA in marketing and I landed up with a computer company, which is how I landed up in Pennsylvania. I took over a division for them. And then the years of consolidation in large corporate America started happening, downsizing. Anyway, I've had my own consulting practice for the last 15 years now. And I help private owners manage their business, succession planning, operations, and business development. And I work 4 days a week. I make my own schedule and it's great. I'm not much of a golfer. If you saw me on a course, you'd understand why. And I just decided that, you know, once things open up and we can travel, we'll slow down and we'll do some traveling.
Still playing piano?
Still play the piano, yes.
Good.
Does Sharon still play piano?
I'm sure she does.
Well, no, I suppose I could, but I had 2 surgeries on arthritic joints. So right now I'm in OT and I haven't opened my piano because there's too much stuff on it. So I haven't played in a while. When I get to Barbara's house after all this nonsense is over, if she still has her piano, I'll play it. How about Barbara?
Anymore.
What? You don't have one?
I moved, I didn't bring it. It was almost as old as I was. It couldn't be tuned anymore. Yeah.
Sharon, you haven't changed a bit.
Significant other.
I haven't changed a bit. I'll let you into my secrets, I guess.
I've gotta leave, but I want to ask one more question for everyone, and that is, does anybody know if any of us went to jail?
What a question.
I doubt it, not from the SP.
Went to jail?
Yeah, I mean,
How about just
we're
arrested?
talking about how everybody's doing well. I was just wondering if anybody went to jail.
I was arrested.
Maybe,
That was back in Lincoln time.
maybe Arnold Tom.
Yeah.
My first marriage kind of qualifies.
Who was that? Leonard or
That was
That had to
Alan.
be Simon.
It was Alan.
Well, there you go. Bet you didn't expect
Alan to
that,
come
Gary.
up with the right answer.
Gary, what does it mean to you that none of us have actually spent time behind bars?
No, it's an interesting, I had someday over a glass of wine, I'll tell you a story of how I had to have a criminal attorney. And
Oh, I can't wait to hear that
it was
story.
no great,
I will bring the bottle of wine.
Yeah.
I want to hear that story.
Might need
Yeah,
a good scotch
God.
for this one.
Yeah.
Oh,
So I
which,
had
wait a minute,
I had
you want single malt?
I had a
Gary.
criminal attorney there for a while. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, definitely. Irish with
Consider it done.
And so I somebody asked me to do something, it was like, hey, would you carry this bag for me across the street?
Oh,
Over the border,
Yeah, over the border. It was a similar thought, but a little bit more complicated. And so I had a
That
criminal
gullible.
and it's somebody asks you to do them a favor and you go, and it's not really kosher, but they're a good friend and you say, oh yeah, okay, you did it. And then pretty soon, you're talking to the FBI and wearing a wire and
Oh, man.
Oh, God.
all
And you're-
sorts
You
of
know,
stuff.
it's really funny. At the last reunion, when we were doing the Mark Twain SPE reunion, we were sitting there and I said, stop and think about it. When we all started sounding off what we had become as adults, I turned around and I said, holy smokes, were we really the epitome of public education back then? I mean, we were doctors and lawyers and CPAs and entrepreneurs and teachers. And now, did we have perfect lives? No, none of us did. I mean, we had divorces, we had, some of us were widowed, but I'll tell you something, considering what we had gone through, we were a pretty damn terrific group of kids.
Well,
Sure,
and
we're
that,
well
but that was
educated.
our, that was the way we were brought up. I mean,
Yeah, we had pretty
you-
terrific parents. No matter how good or bad they were pretty influential, or getting us to know that we had to do it right. Otherwise, they would murder us themselves.
Well, and exactly. Well, and
Yes.
We were also the cream of the students in Lincoln as well.
Yeah, we
Oh, we
were.
were.
Yeah.
Not
And you
all-
know,
We
you
were the
have
cream
to,
of the crop.
you have to consider that all of us moved into those apartment buildings. We
Right.
didn't have any friends. We all had to
Yeah.
make friends. We
That's
had to
right.
start all over again, which is tough as a teenager.
Right.
So considering that, we all turned out okay.
And we didn't come from big money.
Right.
No,
No, we just
No.
learned
we
how to
all came
work
from
hard.
working parents.
Right.
I mean, you guys, most of you were in Trump. No, you were in
Warback.
Warback. I was,
Right.
excuse me, poo. I was in Luna Park.
Luna
I mean, I was really the poor kid.
You and Ian.
Ian, right.
That's right, me and Ian.
Me too. Yep.
Did you know Marlene Dorfman?
The name's familiar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guys,
She was in Luna Park.
it was a pleasure. I'll send you those links and stuff. And
Bye.
Take care.
You take care.
wish
Great
everybody
to see you.
good health
Great to
and
see you,
Hey,
Gary.
Gary.
talk to you at the next reunion.
Yes.
Okay.
We'll do it
Right.
on your boat.
Take care, Gary.
Very
Take
good.
care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Be well.
Bye.
It
Bye.
always amazes me how they complain that high school classes are too big. And no one can believe that there were like 4,000 students in 3 sections.
5,000.
Wait a minute. I remember when we were in Mark Twain, at one point there were like 45 of us in a classroom, and we were sitting on the floor.
And our graduating class in 70 was considered small and we were 1,200.
Great.
That's right.
Yeah, we took up a huge movie theater at graduation.
Lowe's Kings, or was that?
Lowe's King.
Kingsway.
That's
Oh,
right.
it was, wait, on Flatbush?
Yeah,
Yes, just
Yeah, we got by
refurbished.
Erasmus there.
Big deal
that's
now.
right.
Yeah, Lincoln was so crowded when we were there that we went in shifts. You had
3 shifts.
With three
Session,
shifts.
first session.
10:30.
Three of them.
You did them all by the time you got through.
Oh,
I was all
absolutely.
gone by 78, the ships.
Well,
Really?
I think after 72 or so, it was a whole different
Very
ballgame.
much.
Yeah.
That's wild. That's wild.
So
Hey,
can
Bernie,
I,
I have boys who love reading all sorts of great stories. I need you to send me a list of stuff.
Okay, I'll give you I'll put my email address and just send me an email about it and what their interests are, and I'll send them signed books.
Oh, you're the best.
oh, it's so
You know,
nice.
they give me free
That's
copies, and we just in COVID been going through all our stuff and giving it to like the Patterson Boys and Girls Club and stuff because
Yeah, no,
how
because
many
my
of them-
boys are voracious readers.
Yeah, I have
And
two
they
grandchildren, so that's 2 books of each, right? So be on that.
no, one of each is fine. One of each is fine.
Yeah, no, that's cool. I'll put my email address on right now. Something else I want to tell the rest of you before I get off here, because it's not about me so much, is that my wife and I, years ago, started a charity to send Maasai girls to school instead of, why isn't that sending? How to return, right?
Or enter.
Oh, wait, that's not to everybody. Okay, I'll get it. Anyway, we founded this Maasai Girls Fund to stop them from being genitally cut and married off as children. So I wanted to, I'll put the website of that charity there for you to check out, any of you who are interested in that sort of stuff. And Beth, I've been out to restaurants a lot the past couple of weeks, and you inspired me. I'm going to start even ramping it up.
Do
because
it.
That's
Do
a
it.
great, Beth, I don't know if everybody sees Beth's post, but she's trying to help New York's, mom and pop restaurants stay in the ball game, because, in the end, we all rely on them. There
I
we
have
go.
a birthday Facebook fundraiser now, and we're almost at goal. It'll run till May 9th. And it's a great group, and they're trying to help restaurant people who, are in a big mess now. Even now that the weather is nice and they're starting to open up a bit, it's still very, very sad as what's happening in New York. So if you look me up on Facebook, there it will be. Please do.
Yep, and also support all the music clubs out there. They're starting to open up
Yes.
again. I got a lot of buddies out there that are waiting for work and just waiting for it to all open up again. So please support the music clubs, small ones especially.
And small theaters are a lot of
Yep.
the actors
Yep.
that I work with. And
No question about it.
not only lose their acting jobs, they lost their day jobs too, their restaurant jobs.
Right. Too bad.
So all the things they do.
I'm involved with the Jazz Forum Arts group, which is a club and an organization, not for profit, in Tarrytown, and they do terrific work. They're still doing Zoom concerts from the club as well as from the studios of the individual musicians, and we have to support live music as much as we can, as well as the arts, while they're in the dumps. So I'm with you, Elliot. I think we need, and Bernie, we really need to help them out.
Yeah.
Oh, no, for sure. I've been, the old fart that I am. I listen to the Broadway channel on Sirius, and I've been supporting them forever. I mean, the minute the lights went out, my heart took a twist. I felt like somebody was taking a knife to my heart.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, before anybody else cuts out, let's give a real big thanks to the guy who set this whole.
Yes.
Lenny.
Yeah, Lenny, good
Lenny.
job.
Lenny, thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. One day we'll
Wait, can I?
in person.
I just wanted to say that could you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, you're
I was on
fine.
mute. I want to thank the people who, I try to put together the reunion, as everybody knows, and it unfortunately fell apart because of COVID. So maybe we'll try to do it for 2022.
Oh, please, that would be
So I
great.
will get in touch with, I posted it on every Lincoln site last time. People had made reservations for the
Sure.
hotels. Poor Howie was flying in from, he already had his tickets from Colorado. And we were
Oh my
online
God.
once, a bunch of us were online once a month organizing it. So
Oh,
I'm
wow.
gonna try to do it again and I'm gonna put it online.
Thank you,
Oh, that,
Arlene.
Thanks.
that would be
And-
great, Arlene.
And Lenny
Any excuse to come
Lenny is
into
going
Brooklyn.
to open up. Lenny's gonna open up.
Long Island.
He's gonna be the master of ceremonies
Oh.
because this time we're gonna win sing.
Oh. And
Absolutely.
maybe we can have a prom too.
Prom? What's that?
I have a technical question.
Sorry,
In
guys.
the anti-war years, we didn't do prom.
I know.
Right.
That's right.
That's right, we bombed the chem lab instead, as I recall.
Yeah.
But I have a technical question now.
Yes.
Barb, you sent me your email. I mean, when this meeting is over, how do we access our chats and stuff from the meeting?
You don't.
Okay.
I don't
So,
think you do. If
in other words, don't leave the room until you've written down all that stuff, right?
There's
Yeah,
a little thing at the bottom with dots and it says save chat.
Yeah.
Oh,
There you go.
okay.
So
Thank
click
you.
it.
Oh, thank you. See, I knew there was. a
How
way to-
come mine doesn't?
I don't
Where
know.
do you save it to?
At the bottom, if you have the chat function, if you open up the chat, all the way at the bottom where you type your message, you should see 3 little dots. And if you click on those 3 little dots, it says save chat
But where does it save it to, Beth?
Somewhere.
somewhere.
It'll
gonna
be
write-
Cloud.
I'm gonna write.
Guys, I'm
both
gonna
of them.
cut out. I just want to say, give my best to all my old and new friends from this
Yes.
get together. It's been great. Thanks again, Lenny. And
Alan, are you in New York
we'll
again?
be in touch. Yeah, back in the
Good.
West Village.
We'll see you soon. I'm gonna get a
Great to
pen.
see you, Alan. Hope to
Good.
stay in touch.
Yeah, you
Bye,
too.
everybody.
You too, Jerry May.
Hey,
Mary.
Jamie, stay
Mary.
well.
You
Be
too.
well.
Stay well.
Thank you.
I'll talk to you soon, sweetie pie.
Okay, sounds
Karen,
good. I'm
Jill,
gonna check out
Beth,
too.
Barbara.
Great to see
Everybody.
everybody. Thanks, Lenny.
Everyone,
Great,
it was
this was
great to
great.
see you.
Wait a minute, Lenny, how did we get away with only like an hour and change? Last time when we did the Mark Twain one, my God, we were on for hours and
We were
hours
on
and
for 3
hours.
hours. Yeah. It all, depends on who's
What
talking,
it is.
what we're sharing.
That was crazy. You know, I looked, I didn't see, is Gary gonna just email all of us the link? Because I didn't see it in the chat.
I
He
think
said
that's
he
what
would-
he said.
That's what he said.
That's what he
Barb,
said.
Okay.
If he doesn't, I'll send
You
you
know-
an email and
Barbara,
remind you.
how old are your grandkids?
I've got one that's 10 and one that's 12.
And they're boys or girls?
Yeah, they're boys.
Boys.
You know,
Oh,
they-
perfect. Okay,
Ooh.
okay.
Hey, Lenny,
Wait
Yeah.
a minute, I'll have to send you their address.
That's my readership. Well, I'll email you and then we'll get it going.
Oh, okay, we'll talk. We'll
Okay.
talk.
hear from whatever happened to Morris Dweck, some of the Syrian.
Wow.
Wait a minute, I
Morris.
got one for you.
Oh,
Got one for you. He has a cousin who, it was very funny. All the Dwecks are related.
Right.
And he has a cousin who's a cardiologist here in Florida. And the first time my husband met him, and he told me his name was Dr. Dweck, I went, wait a minute, I know his cousin. And what was really funny was that when I finally met him, I said to him, do you have a cousin Morris? And he said, I have so many cousins, I couldn't tell you which one I know and which one I don't know. I said, well, he was in Brooklyn. He lived on Ocean Parkway. He went to Lincoln High School. He went,
All live there.
Some
we
people
all live
don't
there,
know when to
exactly.
Stop having children.
Does anybody keep in touch with Jerryman Cars?
I ran into him at the Scarsdale Diner a few times last year.
Pardon?
I ran into him at the diner in Metro Diner in Scarsdale a couple of
Oh.
times about a year ago.
oh, that's funny. That's where my sister-in-law goes when we come up north, and we're gonna hopefully be there this summer. We go to that diner. Oh my God. That is very frightening. Yeah, we've all been so close and so far
We
away.
have somebody new who just came
Yes.
on.
Susan?
Yes, I just came on. Susan.
Hi,
Hi.
Susie.
Hi,
Gary.
how is everyone? I'm sorry I was a little late. I was on call, so I had to I had to
Excuses,
be on a phone
excuses.
call with sort of the fellows.
Terrible excuses.
Susan,
You missed Gary.
Oh, really?
He was on for about an hour.
His
haven't
boat here
seen-
in Fort Lauderdale.
Guys, I just want to say goodbye to everybody.
Bye, Elliot.
We'll see you, Elliot.
Bye, Elliot.
Go to.
Thank you, Bernie. All the faces that I don't know, I know you now. Marky boy, Schultze, look at you. All right. And Nina, I'll be talking to you.
Okay, beautiful, Elliot. I can't wait.
Take care.
Elliot, I guess
Here,
Ian
Elliot.
can put us together, right?
Excuse me?
Ian can put us together. We'll make some music.
Definitely. Like I said, Ian saw me. Check out the video, guys. You'll see
Definitely.
Coconut and its beauty.
Got it, Elliot.
Okay?
Yeah,
Take
it's
care.
great.
Take care.
Bye.
I gotta go, everybody. It was great to see
Bye.
everybody.
Karen.
Bye.
Susan, where do you live?
Karen.
Who you
Take
talking
care,
to?
Karen.
Get better. Feel better.
Oh my gosh.
Wait,
Is
you know, we
Karen
were
the only-
talking. We were talking about teachers at Mark Twain. I don't know most of you, but I was in the 2-year SP at Mark Twain, and I graduated in '70. I know Beth Ellen, but what was that? You were talking about a teacher, and you said she was the prettiest one. But what was that teacher whose father owned Astroland? Miss Alpert, wasn't that her name? No one knows her.
Susie Albert?
Yes, I think so. She was extremely pretty, like very coiffed, and
You're
no,
not talking
that doesn't
about
fit-
Ablo. You're not talking about Susie Ablo.
Oh, maybe.
Wait a minute. Are you talking about from Lincoln?
No, a teacher from Mark Twain. She was an English
no.
teacher.
Oh,
No,
No?
Susie Abelo was at Lincoln.
A teacher, right, she was a student. No,
Did
no
you
one was in
know-
the 2-year SP with me? Okay, you were
My
all
mo-
in,
my- oh, wait a minute. Okay. I'm going to give you a 2-year SP story. When
okay.
I was in the 6th grade, we all took the test and I made the 2-year SP and my mother went to the principal at PS 100, Miss Driscoll. Okay. And this woman was the wicked witch of the West. I mean, she could have played her. And my mother said, I'm not so educated. Let me go talk to the principal about whether you should take the 2-year or the 3-year. And this woman, now today, somebody would string her up. This woman looked at my mother and said, Mrs. Laufer, why should she take the 2-year SP? She's going to go to school. She's going to get married. She's going to have babies. What does she have to finish school in advance for? Let her take the 3-year. It'll be better for her. I mean, of course, if I hadn't done that, Lenny, you and I never would have met or gotten together. But the point was, I mean, and on top of it, I was a November baby. So I started school at 4 and a half. So I would have finished high school at 16 and a half. My mother wouldn't have known what to do with me.
That's what happened to me. I've graduated.
Right, Bernie?
Yeah, me too.
We were the
Me too.
babies.
my brother, he went to the 2-year SP. He wound up being very young in college. It was problematic. When it came to me, I'm in December. So the 3-year SP made sense. Don't rush it. And
Right.
So does
I didn't
anyone
realize
know?
your brother was in the SP class, Lenny.
yeah, but not in Mark Twain.
No, I know he wasn't in Mark Twain. He was older than us. He was the old fart.
4.5 years.
So I'm a big researcher, and whenever I hear a story, I go into Google that shit, GTS. And so I was really upset about the whole Jeffrey Epstein thing. And does everyone know that he went to Mark Twain?
And
Alan.
What?
sent
No
a picture.
way.
Yes.
Two kids down from There's Epstein.
What?
Seagate?
Alan Scheinman sent a picture, I don't know, on Facebook or what, who just left, right? Of him in the front row in the class picture. And he says, look at the kid two kids down, and it's Jeffrey Epstein.
Right.
Wow.
So for me, he was the year ahead of me in the 2-year SP, and it gave me such creeps that he was sitting in the same classrooms and probably had the same teachers, for days, for weeks. It just
Probably sitting there having fantasies about young girls.
Right.
Here's something to
When I was having fantasies about young girls.
Well, at that point, there was nothing wrong with that, but
When I came back to Lincoln in '78, my eyes opened up to the fact about the number of teachers that were fooling around with the students. I mean, I couldn't believe it. We talk about Epstein. We should look inside our own club.
Well, remember Jerry Fishman, right?
Oh,
I was
yeah.
just thinking the same thing. Jerry
There
Fishman
were a
had his hands
couple
on all of us.
beyond
We could
that.
have never held that job in this day and age.
Yeah.
Seeing Bonnie,
Yeah.
you know.
But there was one English teacher who my cousin had while she was at Lincoln, and she'd always complain to me. The teacher would walk up and down the aisles and snap girls' bras. The straps. I go, I can't. If this were today, whatever year, they would be cut right away. But on the other hand, we read in the newspapers about all these female teachers that are having affairs with the 13-year-olds. I can't.
Where were they?
What?
Yeah, where were they?
I'm sure it went on in our day too. It's just when you guys went
maybe
to,
it went on in our day, but I don't think it went on amongst, not that it would have amongst us, but it was like our parents knew more about us and our parents knew more about our teachers. And I think we, especially those of us who were in the SP classes, we were so close. It was like if the girls and boys weren't boyfriend and girlfriend, we were almost like brother and sister. And we really looked out for each other. Or am I crazy, Lenny?
You're crazy, but that's okay.
Okay.
Hey, when you guys went to Twain, I went to Cunningham, but when you went to Twain, did you know a teacher, remember a teacher named Jack Bronstein?
Gary, we
Move
can't hear
closer
you.
to
You
your
gotta move close to the
microphone.
middle of
Can't
the mic.
Jack Bronstein was a math teacher that I student taught under when I was at Mark Twain in the
Doesn't sound familiar.
mid-70s. Does it sound familiar?
We had Mrs. Levine.
Uh-huh.
Of course. I remember her.
And then Mr. Schiff.
God.
Yeah.
He had green teeth. He was really,
Some from cigars.
could be.
Lenny, I have a question
All
for
the
you.
people from the SP from Reynolds, from the 3-year SP, many of them are still friends today.
Were you in 3-year, Bernie?
Yes, I was.
Yeah, I was in 2-year there. But
I was
what
in
I
the 2-year
recall,
also.
we had like, I don't know, between the two things, we had about 9 classes out of 25
Yeah.
9th grade classes. Yeah, we were
Wow.
completely segregated from the non-SP kids.
Yeah,
Completely.
totally.
Except for Jim.
No, we joined together in band and orchestra.
Yes.
And
So,
Jim.
That's-
And
yeah,
Jim.
orchestra.
There was a lot of talent. Like Judd Miller wasn't in the SP, but he was a superstar
Juddy was,
in the
Judd was
orchestra.
the best.
Yeah, he's in
Yeah,
California.
but then again, at Lincoln, we had the leadership from the top. I mean, our principal loved music and he loved theater and he encouraged all of us.
Was Lass still the principal?
Yeah.
Yeah, Abe Lass.
Abe Lass would sit in with the jazz band and with the orchestra.
right.
Invariably, you could find him at the piano.
Abe Lass, when he was a young man, played in the movie theaters when they had just a piano player and no talkies.
Wow.
He wasn't that old.
Yeah, he was very
he
young.
was.
He was.
Yeah.
That's right.
Did anyone have Mr. Cook in, I had a crush on him. Did anyone have him for honors English?
Mr.
Mr.
No.
Cook? No?
Yeah.
Lenny, do you remember when we were in Mark Twain? When we were in Mark Twain, we had a young English teacher who got us all hooked on Shakespeare. Do you remember her name?
Hyman?
I don't hear you.
Was that Miss Hyman?
Yes, that's who it was. I think that's who it was. Remember, we went to see A Midsummer Night's Dream in one of the local high schools.
I have a picture of with Fran in it from that trip.
I
Do
did
you?
Fran
a
Rena.
Shakespeare
Yeah, I
show
don't know
with
where,
Lenny.
but
Later
Yeah,
on.
no.
Laser is in it too.
I stop and laugh, you know.
You'll get
I
it
remember
eventually.
one. I remembered watching like a 60-minute segment where this 90-year-old teacher had said that she remembers teaching like younger students what they were learning when she was first teaching, Now they're first learning in high school. And, you know, I said, that's crazy. And then later on, because I didn't start teaching until I was around 40, I was first teaching Romeo and Juliet in the 9th and 10th grade. And I said, my God, we learned that crap when we were in 7th grade.
That's right. I remember.
Now they don't learn it at all, so.
No, they do. They try and teach it, but you know what's really funny? The first thing I did, I was teaching a 7th grade English class, and A Midsummer Night's Dream was coming out with what's her name?
Michelle
I don't
Pfeiffer.
remember.
Michelle Pfeiffer.
Michelle Pfeiffer was Titania, and to my English chair, I said, "Would you mind if I tried teaching A Midsummer Night's Dream to my kids?" And she said, "You're crazy." I said, "No, no, 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 no. I got this down. I got this to a science." And I broke it into the 3 parts that we learned as kids. And I was like, we had more fun doing that. And I was like, and my students were like, why is this the first time we're hearing about Shakespeare? Because I remember we started with Caesar. And I was like, why do they start with Caesar? Why not start with A Midsummer Night's Dream or Taming of the Shrew, that everybody complains is one of his crappiest
Always
plays?
Romeo. Yeah.
It's always Romeo and Juliet. And I said, wait,
Yes.
why are we doing this? Why not start with the comedy so that the kids get a kick out of it and they enjoy learning it? I like your face, Gary. That was very cute. But I'm very happy not to be teaching anymore. I'm very happy to be just, in a
Nice to be
sense, I wish I was.
retired, right?
It's lovely to be retired, but COVID really has put a damper on it.
I still teach.
Yeah.
I don't teach anymore, but I work for Brooklyn College, and I go into schools occasionally. I'm a math specialist, not a literacy person. And I have so much the same experience that you do in terms of what I see now compared to how we learned and how we came up. Very, very different, very frightening. It's easy now with COVID. I'm doing it here from Mexico.
Yeah, I taught online. That
I
was
don't
lots
have
of
to
fun.
go anywhere anymore. It's
Yeah,
an
no,
interesting experience.
The last few years of teaching, I was teaching online. I was teaching for an educational firm. And hell, I was teaching kids in Hawaii. I was teaching kids from New York. It was great. My grandson would say, Nana, why are you not here? I would get on a plane. I'd go to Virginia and I'd take my computer with me.
I had a similar experience when I retired. I started working for a firm down in Texas. And I did a lot of stuff down at the university there when they were first coming out with Common Core. Very, very eye-opening, very disappointing to see how it's gone over the last.
Well, they're being taught to it. They're all being taught to a test as opposed to being taught to think.
Yeah, well, we used to be taught to think. That's what they stopped doing, I believe.
Yep.
At least that's my experience. Very
Yep.
sad.
Did anybody?
But you were
take
right.
computer
The
part-
days with
Yeah,
some of you guys were absolutely the best. I remember them to this day. Lenny, Bernie,
You bet.
I know Terry is gone, right?
You know, I heard that. And
Yeah,
then
I know he
no.
passed away. Those were some of the most fun times when I think back with Kathy and you guys.
We had a lot of
Absolutely
fun.
wonderful. I don't know that they have experiences like that anymore. It seems like there's a very much more removed.
Because they're all like this. They're all like this.
They're busy on their
exactly,
telephones.
exactly. I mean, it's great now, but you know, the world's gotten so much smaller and people separate. It's different. This makes it nice, but when it's all you have, it's not enough.
I know.
Susan, I remember
Sad, very
at
sad.
like 3 a.m.
It's so
walking down the streets of Brighton Beach, singing at the top of our lungs songs from musicals. Who does
Yep.
that?
Yeah.
That was
Yes.
our teenage rebellion.
Us, we do.
You guys, such a talented group you all are.
Lenny and I did a Shakespeare show that Jeff directed for a theater company that my wife and I were part of the founding group. And we toured schools and stuff like that. And Lenny played Bisbee. He played was it flute? Yeah. And he's got a picture of himself in full flute women costume with his full beard.
Who's got that picture? I want a copy.
Oh yeah,
I have a whole
this
bunch
crowd,
of
Lenny.
pictures
Wait a
too.
second,
I'm
wait
a
a second.
saver.
It's
Let
the
me see if I
blackmail
can,
shot.
let me see. Wait.
We'll call it up while we. Here we
Give it
go.
to
There
Lenny.
it is.
And Lenny
Oh,
sends
yeah.
This one here.
pictures all the
Third
time.
one in, Len.
Are you seeing
One.
that?
Oh,
Third
yes,
one, yeah.
I've seen
Oh
that.
my God, Lenny. That's
Yeah.
how I remember
Val.
you. No.
Oh,
And
God,
go from the
Lenny.
devil to that.
How
That's Rain.
adorable.
What's fun about that is there's a line that when Bernie, who's the guy who's giving me the role in this, says I should play this
Running.
part, and my line is, "Wait, I have a beard coming on," and indeed, I did. And here's wait, there's 1 second. I'm just trying to get to it.
Sharon?
Yes, hi.
Where is it? Where is it? God
Where are
damn it. There it is. Jeff Schechter,
Are you putting them all up?
do you see this?
I'm
I
only
see
seeing
what
the
you're-
one screen, Lenny.
Oh, one
play
second.
bottom.
1 second.
Ah, there's everybody back.
Oh, 'cause
Yeah,
I-
no, I saw the
Lenny's
pictures from
wonderful
your
with
computer.
pictures.
Here, this is. You see
There
that?
it is.
Oy, give Val.
That's him and Jeff.
Eddie,
That's Schechter.
Yeah.
That's so
Give
cute.
Val.
those were the
Lenny.
days.
Them was the days. You know what's really funny? What was really sad was I wasn't the best singer in the world. I enjoyed singing, but I found that when I started to teach, I really messed up my vocal cords. My ability to sing the music that I once sang is
Bless
gone.
you.
Thank you.
And it really made me sad because I used to love to, jump around in the living room listening to Streisand or any other musical that was, in my head. And that really, I think that's the one thing that I truly, truly miss. I went to the doctor. I found out that I had like nodes, some sort of nodes on my vocal cord. And I said, you know what? I got to be nuts to try and do this kind of surgery. So I didn't. So like my range has totally vanished. And it makes me so sad for me. Nobody has to hear my voice, but it just made me so sad. So that I enjoy listening to, like, I get a kick out of going to YouTube and seeing some of our friends who really were able to make a living, or at least attempt to make a living with their beautiful voices. I mean, the guys that we grew up with, you all had such great voices and they were able to maintain them. I don't know how, but they were.
About 15 years ago, I went to one of these pharmacy-sponsored events for doctors, and it was at the Opera House, Met. And they advertised you're going to have lunch and you were going to meet an opera singer. And who was the opera singer doing the talk but Bernie Liner? Remember
Oh
Bernie?
my God. Of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah.
He's
Who
there.
was it?
Yeah. He was evidently part of the troupe there. And
Not
well
Bernie
renowned.
Liner.
No, it wasn't me.
No. You mean
And the other,
Alan
another Bernie.
Alan
Alan
Glass,
Hey,
right?
Bernie, what did we not know about you?
I think she means Alan Glassman, right?
Right.
Oh, I don't think, was it Alan Glassman?
Yeah, he was the
Well,
one.
Bernie Liner is here.
Bernie Liner's the
He's right
drummer.
there.
He's right there. And he
love
actually
you,
still
Manta.
looks, I would recognize
I'm sorry,
him
not
as,
you, Bernie. You're not the opera singer. You're right,
Right.
Alan Glassman. Sorry.
Yeah.
There we go.
Alan Glassman was a bass baritone singer,
That's,
and he was very successful. I don't know what he's doing now.
he didn't have that many, he wasn't with the Met. He was New York City Opera.
And maybe it was New York City.
one or the other.
One or the other at Lincoln Center.
Not like I went that often.
No.
I
Yeah,
used
he
to
was
go all the time
national.
before I moved to Florida. I used to love going to Lincoln Center.
Oh, I miss it.
And when I told my kids, after my own children saw the movie West Side Story, I said, remember when I used to take you to Lincoln Center? They said, yeah. I said, that used to be those slums that you saw in West Side Story.
There.
That's right.
So speaking about creativity, am I wrong? But didn't Barry, does anyone know the name Barry Strugatz?
Familiar.
Familiar.
I think he has credit on Married to the Mob, but I never could 100% make sure that
As an
that was
actor?
him. No, as a writer.
As a writer, wow.
Ooh.
So like
Two Barry Strugatzes can there be?
Yeah, so true.
Does,
But
does everybody see Sharon Gelfand? Because I can't see her.
She has no
No.
No, she has no
Her screen's
video.
not up.
Okay, I just thought I was crazy. Okay. just
No,
checking.
well,
Yeah,
you
well,
are
you may be
crazy,
crazy,
Arlene, but
but
that's
no.
beside the point.
Right.
Okay.
That's what I said.
So you all mostly know each other from Sing?
Well,
We know each other from Mark Twain and
Classes
from Lincoln.
Mark Twain.
Okay.
I just
Mark
want to
Twain
say
and
something
Lincoln.
to Susan Jacobs.
Yes.
Susan, you missed Jamie Simpson was on.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. She doesn't go by
She's-
that name. She changed her name.
No, well, she married, her last name is Tabor, Tabor, and she goes by Mary. You can look her up on
I saw her on Facebook.
on Facebook. She is on Facebook and you can friend her. She was so excited when I finally, I mean, she's not here anymore. But when I finally got a hold of her, when I got her phone number from her brother and I got a hold of her and I told her what was going on, she was so excited. She was like, oh my God, are you kidding me? I missed that. She was so excited to be here with us. And I think she got online. Lenny, I think she got a hold of you in order
I
to
don't know.
be
You might have
part-
given me her. You may have given me her
Yeah.
name, whatever. But
she was so excited. She was so excited to join us all because Jamie really went off into hippie land after school. But she's glorious. I mean, she looks so much like her mother now. It's wild, and her mother passed just a couple of years ago. But yeah, she does furniture.
Pennsylvania.
Yeah, she lives out near Gettysburg, and she does furniture. Her husband does refurbishing of like antique, glorious stuff, and she does the webbing. The wicker webbing on the backs of chairs and stuff from those old chairs. She does some gorgeous work. She was always very artistic. And I was so happy to get a hold of her, and I wound up contacting her. And like a week later, she wound up having a heart attack.
Hi.
Don't
And now,
contact me.
Don't call me. I was just gonna
Yeah,
say the
really.
same thing. Don't call me.
Ha ha ha. No, but she's fine. She's fine now, thank God. But Susan, so when are you selling your house? Complaining it's too big. When are you
Susan?
No, the other Susan.
Oh, we're not selling yet. We were thinking of selling, but my daughter's pregnant. We were thinking of selling our house in Larchmont and moving into the city. And
One more.
once the
one more Bloody Mary
pandemic
now.
occurred, I said, why are we selling our house and moving into the city when we have a house, we have a gorgeous garden? We're not selling it. So,
Can you imagine trying to downsize your house into an apartment?
I just did it.
Gewalt.
A nightmare.
Yeah, look
I
how
don't even
narrow
want to
she
think of
is.
it. Yeah, I see.
Even she's squeezed in, let alone.
Downside.
45 years, 9 rooms into a 2-bedroom apartment in
Not a
Mamaroneck.
sh-
Oh, you're in
couldn't do that.
Mamaroneck? Arlene, you're in Mamaroneck?
Yes.
I'm in Cortland Manor, right near Peekskill.
Oh, very
I'm
close.
in
And my,
Larchmont.
yes, to
I'm
her
right
and
in
my
Larchmont.
and
But
my
my friend
daughter
is
is in Harrison, and she's pregnant too, which is why we're here.
All right, I'll meet you at Wegmans.
Oh, good stuff.
Westchester, it's the new Brighton Beach.
Not so much, right, Bernie Liner?
Been here for 30, I've been in Westchester for 34 years, then we sold our home. We downsized, but we found a 2,000 square foot apartment. So it's not that small.
That's not downsizing. I'm very sorry. 2,000 square feet is not downsizing.
We were lucky. We were lucky.
Bernie, you're in
Unbelievable.
Ardsley?
I sold my house in Ardsley this year and moved in July.
So where are you now?
Just when it was crazy because with COVID, but we found some buyers before the market got really heated up.
So where do you live
What
now?
town are you in?
I'm in York. I'm in Yonkers now.
Yonkers, right?
West Yonkers. All right. So we Westchester people should get together at some point.
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
Okay, I'm gonna be up in July-ish.
You're in
And I'm gonna be
Scarsdale.
up in Westchester. I'm gonna be in
Oh.
Scarsdale.
Oh,
So I will let you know, and we will have to get together for lunch.
I'm gonna be down in Florida in June-ish.
Oh, you give up when?
Because my daughter lives down there.
Now that we're 60-ish.
Susan, what beach are you on? What town is that?
We're 70-ish. Oh, God.
She can't hear me. Susan? Lubert? What beach are
She's
you
in
on?
Mexico.
Yeah, I know, but
What beach?
What are you asking? What beach I'm on?
yeah, what town?
Where am I? I'm in Quintana Roo in Playa del Carmen, I
Oh,
think.
okay, yeah, okay.
Mexican
Got it.
Riviera.
Yeah, no, I know where that is.
That's what happens when you,
I
that's
come
what
down
happens
here
when
with
you
friends
drink at
every
10
year
a.m.
or every other year.
Yeah, can you
Usually with
imagine?
all their kids. This time just us.
Nice.
How many
I have a
margaritas
friend-
have you
I'm
had?
celebrating a 50th birthday. Isn't that making me feel old? Here celebrating a friend's 50th birthday.
That's disgusting.
That is disgusting, Barbara.
She could be my kid.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right, how many margaritas?
Mikey.
Hey, Bob.
Bye. Gotta leave, but I'm gonna find my yearbook so I get the names right now. Arlene, I'm
Susie-
looking forward to a real reunion in person. I want
I
to
tried.
thank you for
Did a great
trying
job.
to do that.
I'll do
I
it
think
again.
I'll be there for sure.
Okay.
How many
Sounds-
margaritas have you had, Susie?
Actually, this morning it's Bloody Marys and
There
I'm
you
only
go.
on my
Excuse me.
fourth.
Okay.
It's
You're
early
fourth.
here, you guys. It's an
You're
hour
working at it.
earlier than East Coast time. And as I said, we've been going for since last Thursday.
Wow.
We left for Vegas on the 15th. So what's today, the 24th? 5 more days to go still.
Well,
Have a
here's
great
one
time.
anniversary you'll completely
You
forget.
get
sound like-
immune.
Oh,
You
yeah.
sound like
Oh,
you're
yeah.
serving a prison term.
Yeah, right.
I wish I could hear better. I apologize. The wind is
How
terrible. here.
was the traveling? Because I
Traveling
haven't
was
really
actually
traveled anywhere.
quite pleasant. Well, we flew first class, so it was easy. We had a row for ourselves, and we all have what's it called? TR.
TPP.
We all go through quickly because we travel a lot in general.
Right.
And you know, so it was really not as bad as I expected it to be. It was very simple, not at all uncomfortable. Only Las Vegas I found uncomfortable. I thought it was way too crowded on the streets, on the strip. Casinos were okay, but because they separate you. I don't know if any of you have been anywhere gambling in the last year.
Haven't been
But everything
anywhere.
is plexiglass separated. It's not the fun it used to be, that's for sure. And but the streets
No,
were
I-
way crowded and people were not wearing
heard that.
masks, and I found that
that's terrible.
uncomfortable. And I wouldn't have done it had I not gotten vaccinated. I wouldn't have done this trip at all, but I'm so tired of being home. You know, I had 9 trips canceled last year because of COVID, so
Wow.
I've had enough. It's time to start doing things again.
I have no
Yeah.
memories of last year except 3 medical procedures. There are no memories. We have to reclaim the time.
We really
Yeah.
do.
This
I
is
know
really gonna
traveling,
be the last
traveling within the country, going from Florida to Virginia was not bad at all. Because I mean, I got out of the car, put on double masks, known traveler, went right through security, got on the plane, sat in a corner and didn't move. But then again, it was only a 2-hour flight. I don't know that I
These
would
were
have.
longer. These were a bit
I don't know that I
longer.
would have wanted to go on a longer flight at that point. But I
You know-
also had a bunch of trips canceled on me.
We had planned this friend's 50th birthday trip to Ireland 2 years ago, and obviously we had to cancel Ireland because it was impossible to make the plans early enough in advance during COVID to do it the way we wanted to. So this was just kind of enough, let's get away and just have a good time. And I must say, it's not crowded here. The resort is maybe what would you say, 30, 40%? Maybe 40%. You can see that the staff has just gotten back, that they're just starting to open up again. Hopefully it'll get better. I mean, that's what I've waited all these years to do, is travel now. All I want to do is go places, and it's not happening right now. You have to stay healthy
I know.
and do it, right?
My husband and I was supposed.
You reach a point. We all got COVID among my friends back in December. We were very lucky, very mild. I lost friends, as I'm sure everyone has. Not in New York, in Florida. But
I
they
didn't lose. I
had
got
other
lucky.
issues. We were all very lucky. We got
Me
away
too.
easy, and then the vaccines came out. So
Yeah.
trying to be smart, but not limited as much as we have been.
Yeah. Hey, Bob Gimby, before
Yeah.
we sign off,
What?
tell us a little about what you're up to, your creative self.
Well,
That's good.
Here's the Lincoln ad man.
yeah. After college, after I got my master's, I got accepted to Hebrew University to do my PhD. And I went there, and I
In Yerushalayim?
I went, did an Opon first, and before I got to Jerusalem, I met a Dutch girl, fell in love with her, and have been living in the Netherlands ever since. So
Oh my.
Is that where you are now?
Where?
that's where I am now. Yeah, I'm living
Bob, where are
just
you?
south of
Where?
Amsterdam.
We're in
Oh,
Netherlands.
how fun. I was in Amsterdam a couple of years ago, right before COVID. We took a trip on the Rhine, and we spent a couple of days in Amsterdam. Love Holland.
It's a nice country to live in.
So how long have you been there?
Oh, 40 years since I got married.
Wow.
I got
You
three
can hear the
kids.
accent.
Amsterdam? Go say my friend Ludo. Yeah.
You have dual.
So what have you been up to in Holland?
Well, like you, until I was 50, I was working in IT, doing a lot of writing software, but also writing marketing documentation and things. And then when I turned 50, I became an English teacher.
Yay.
Give up. Yay! English teachers.
Well,
And
it
I
ain't
did
the
that until I
teachers.
retired, and I retired in December. So now I'm waiting for COVID to be over so I can start living again.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's very funny.
That's the secret.
I have a huge family in Israel, and over the last few years, I've been going every couple of years for a visit because my husband is a Jewish anti-Semite. I mean, he stays home, and I just get on a plane and I fly to Israel. So I called my cousin and I said to her, she goes, "I miss you. When am I going to see you?" I told her I was going to get there the day after my birthday, and she was all excited. I know to travel, to get on a plane and go it was the first time. I went back in November. I flew, right, Sue? I flew in I flew back in November, and I was scared shitless. I was absolutely petrified. But I said, I gotta go. My grandsons were like crying over FaceTime. You know what it's like to look at, yeah, you all know. I mean, to look at your grandson's face and he's saying, "Nan, I need you here. Get on, come." And my husband wouldn't drive. So I said, that's it. I got to fly. And now I just feel like, okay, I've got to bite the bullet and fly. And it's pretty safe on the planes. I mean, I don't know how happy I'm going to be flying long haul with masks on my face, but you know, it's like, okay,
It's a long
let's see what
time to
happens.
I'm supposed to go to Israel for a May 7th wedding because I also have a lot of family there. But
Yeah.
that's not happening. I mean, they just now started letting foreigners in, and I think you have to quarantine when you get there. And
No.
now
Bernie, here's what
vaccination thing. Okay. In any case, we had tickets that were supposed to be in September, so we had bought tickets on Aeroflot to go through Moscow.
Aeroplots?
Yes, that's the cheapest by far, you know, by 3 times what any other airline was. And, you know, at that time, what, anyway, so I still have these airline credits. So I briefly debated, you know, maybe I'll, you know, go through Moscow, but then I thought Moscow, maybe not right now. And my cousin said, just forget it. You know what? What's that, Susan?
I'll just
Huh?
just had a sale on tickets, $650 round trip from New York or Miami or LA.
Is this
When I
only
looked,
allow?
it was 4,500 for the two of us.
Wow.
So,
One ticket,
things have
one
changed.
ticket, $650.
Yeah, that's incredible.
I said to my husband, I said, I don't care if you're going or not. I said, but and if they tell me I can't come, I won't come. But right now, for $650, I had to book the ticket.
Well,
I
that
had
was
no
what
choice.
Aeroflot cost, 700 each, you know, that's
No,
why.
this is El Al. This is
Yeah.
El Al.
Yeah,
Wow.
nothing's have changed. That
That's
was
so
pre-COVID.
cheap.
That was pre-COVID.
Is the
That's
tourist
why-
industry opened up in Israel now?
Yes, they just opened up, but here's what happens. You have to take, before you leave, you have to take a COVID test. You have to be able to show that you've taken the shots. And then when you land in Tel Aviv, they do a quick test on you again.
Really?
Right now, if you're not an Israeli, if you're flying as a tourist, you have to travel by Sheirut or by taxi. You're not allowed on public transportation as of today.
Wow.
But I'm flying in November. I'm hoping that at least they'll let me take the train from Tel Aviv because I'm going up to Haifa. That's a $60 taxi fare.
Yeah.
But no, they've just now allowed people. Yesterday was the first day that they had absolutely no positive COVID testing, and they're allowing people to walk without masks in Israel right now.
Cool.
Well, I may go in September. If our cruise gets canceled, Lenny, I may.
Morning, ladies.
Good
morning.
What cruise are we going on, Bernie?
Lenny and I and our significant others have booked. We had booked
What
it a
happened?
year and a half ago, and it's a Baltic and Norway cruise, 2 weeks. On Viking.
Oh. Is it a big ship or is it a small
No,
ship?
their ocean ships are much smaller.
950 people.
Yeah, so
Okay.
they don't have casinos, they don't have kids.
But
It's
they
different.
have already refurbished all their ships. They test you every day, their temperature every day. They have labs on the ship to do everything. So, and they've done their ventilation system. Viking is the best when it comes to taking care of people.
It's not a
Oh,
sure
so if
thing
you're
that they're going to go with us.
If you're
you know.
going with Viking, yeah, no, because I was on the
It's jammy.
Talc when I went to Holland, when I did the tour on the Rhine with my husband. That was the same thing as Viking. The Viking ship was, floating right in front of us, and we were on a Talc ship.
Mm-hmm.
Those are nice. The smaller riverboats are really, really nice.
We did that on the Danube with them as well.
Right. I know my girlfriend did it on the Yangtze in China. She did it. She did the what is it? Yeah, she did with that company. She did it in China.
Question
Ay,
folks,
ay,
before I leave.
I did it on the East River.
What's that, Gary?
Janet Stoltz, does anybody know what became of her?
Janet
Janet,
Stoltz.
yeah, Barbara Halfis?
Richie
Barbara
Bell.
left.
Barbara left.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm gonna have to go too, so.
Yeah, Barbara and I are part of the same bridge club class at this hour, but we're skipping class.
No, she went to class.
Yes, all the smart math people. Bye.
Okay,
Please.
bye all.
All right, everybody.
Take
We
care,
look forward
Gary.
to
All
seeing you
right.
again.
I
Business
will,
well.
I will post this if anybody
Yes,
wants to.
please
carry
That'd
do.
it.
be great.
Lenny.
Good
You
job,
guys are
Len.
all looking great. Good to see you.
Thanks for coming.
Really good.
Bye.
Good to see you all.
Take care,
See
everybody.
you at some
Thank
point.
you for
Bye.
doing this, Lenny.
You're
This was
welcome.
really cool.
Thanks, Lenny.
Be
Bye-bye.
Really
well and
nice.
safe. Be well
Bye-bye.
and
Stay
safe, everybody.
everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.